give it their best in this one as they are facing elimination in the M6 World Championship. Yes, they brought a different lineup to this one, but is it going to be enough against the Selangor Red Giants after what we saw from Game 1? They've got to bring it all together and literally give it their best in this one to extend the series to a Game 3 and keep their hopes alive in the tournament. Let's jump into the land of Dawn here. Again, Game 2 between Keep Best Gaming and Selangor Red Giants.
Now, theoretically, I think KBG's lineup is going to perform better compared to their previous game because, again, the Faramis, although the Netherrealm was always used up, they seem to not have any answer with the aggression of Cram, with the aggression of Yumes. They don't have any re-engage. So this time with the Aurora, the Frigid Glacier is key for KBG to answer SRG.
You think that time, or this time around, the Aurora is enough to stop the implosion setups that we saw previously? You know, because obviously, like LaFell said, he's not going to be imploding on his own team. So is the Aurora enough to go ahead and handle that? Now that we have some time to talk about this, do you think that's a big enough change in that lineup from KBG to at least slow things down against SRG?
Yeah, might be enough for Selangor Red Giants to think twice if they were going to overcommit if ever Yums decides to go with the implosion. Because again, the threat of the Frigid Glacier is just too immense. And at the same time, they have enough crowd control this time with Wind Return having the Edith. So they're not just going to rely on Tracy with the initiations of the Jeet Kune Do or the Way of the Dragon. The Earth Shatter Flicker combination might just be enough to get huge pickoffs. Especially Innocent only has one Purify, and there's a lot of setups that KBG can go if they decide to flank the backline.
Yeah, I think it's more so a sense when we look at KBG's lineup in this time around. Tracy had to do so much work in the previous Game 1, and it just got to a point where, Tracy couldn't. I don't think he had many Way of the Dragon setups that he was, wanted or that were favorable to KBG. Well, this time around, like you just mentioned, the fact that you've at least thrown an Edith into the mix helps things the same. And I think even part of this, if we can have a replicated game, KBG, in terms of Saksa, the lead that he got, then he's even in a much better position to actually go ahead and contest, the objectives later on. The problem, like I was saying from Game 1, though, was KBG, honestly, their early game seems to be rather good for the most part, but then that mid-game and even the late-game transition is where they seem to struggle. And they've made these adjustments even back before, when we first started seeing KBG and the improvements that they had made, even getting somewhat of a revenge, against Turkey that took them out last time in their visits in the M Series. They made improvements, but clearly there's still parts of the game from game to game and all their matches where they definitely need to refine. And slowly but surely they've gotten to that point. I'm just wondering if they've fixed things fast enough from the previous one to get where they are here now to hopefully get to a Game 3. Because looking at the emblems here, nothing too crazy this time around. You do have that Master Assassin, over here for B-Lexi. That 1v1 versus Innocent. Going to be a little bit tough, but hopefully doesn't get overzealous against it. And a whole lot of rotation speed for LMU on this Aurora to hopefully join a lot of these fights, because you already know Yumes is going to be everywhere. We saw this already previously alongside Cram. Cram just likes to just almost play Roam on the Hilda, even though he's XP.
Yeah, he's really active, and at the same time, he's just going to clear, and then as much as possible, be proactive when it comes to taking down neutral objectives as well, zoning out KBG. Important to note that Innocent, though, instead of the Mystery Shop, went with the Tenacity. So this is ensuring the rest of the members of SRG that you don't have to babysit me as that much. You can go for the control over the mid lane, so we can secure neutral objectives like what we did last time. But look at this, the 1v1 between Innocent and Belexi. I think nothing's going to happen here in the bottom lane as they start things off with Turtle.
All right, Turtle's going to be started up. Actually, Cram could be in trouble. He bobs and weaves out of it, though.
Ooh.
Gives the emote as well. Turtle already secured by them. SRG, though.
Okay, so the Frigid Glacier did not connect this time, and Cram just bobbing and weaving. And now onto the bush with the regen. SRG once again. Turtle secured. No trade for KBG.
It looks like they learned, SRG, at least in the series today. Again, with what Coach Arcadia said earlier on in the Swiss stage, we got to learn to be a little more disciplined. We got to, stop beating ourselves, basically. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure, if you guys have ever been in, let's say, traditional sports or esports yourself, you've probably heard that from a coach yourself. Stop being your own worst enemy. into this point, SRG has had to make that adjustment. And so far, so good. Again, it's only early game. We're only 3 minutes in. That first turtle isn't too crazy for either team, you know, whoever ends up getting it. But traditionally with SRG, they get that objective, then they look for that setup potential because now the level 4s are in question here. So both roamers obviously want to work with that. I expect Tracy to probably try to make that play first. But if they can't find it, and they can't play into the fact that you have an Aurora to help lock things down, then they might just wait for that next objective take for the turtle.
Yeah. And again, KBG, the thing is they could also just delay the game and eventually reach Saksha's power spike, because a Joy that scales up pretty well towards the late game is going to be crucial in taking down the backline of SRG. Even just going front to back, he's going to be able to do that. Yums though with the Sacred Hammer, there was an attempt there onto LMU. And now SRG just playing disciplined enough to wait for the neutral objective to once again respawn.
Interestingly enough, too, the gold lane matchup rather quiet. You know, just gonna go ahead and farm each other up, even in the XP lane as well. But this might be a play here on Wind Return.
Oh, popping the Primal Wraith right away, but up against 4. You can't do as much. And a pickoff once again for SRG, setting themselves up perfectly for another turtle take.
That's such good timing, too, for SRG. You know, go up, cap out a kill. Now rotate to the objective. They're most likely just going to get this one. Enough distraction from Saksa, even getting the ultimate out. No electrifying beats, so all that results into SRG just getting a whole lot early on for not too much work. Again, you know, Wind Return just getting caught. They're trying to cut the wave and then getting crashed down, and now the play looks to be here on the bottom side. We'll see if they can defend against it.
Spirit of Misery connects, and Innocent just walks away. Selangor Giants, although Yums has the Flicker plus Implosion, they're not going to overcommit because, again, Bilexi has a Purify alongside LMU as well, and they don't want to dive down any deeper. And now the problem is for KBG, although they're up against the similar lineup of SRG right now as Saksha pops his electrifying beats up against Kram, they were able to find kills and eventually farm up Saksha. But the thing is right now, SRG is getting all neutral objectives, no casualties on their side. KBG, it seems like they have no answer whatsoever with how SRG is rotating.
Yeah, it's really hard for either team to like force fights early on just because they're waiting for Tracy like this.
Oh, but the question is, are they going to be able to burst him down because the Frigid Glacier was there, but just Kram bobbing and weaving once again, another major resource expended. That was actually 2. Way of the Dragon, Frigid Glacier did not connect for KBG.
See, I don't know, man. I don't think that's the right target, you know, for Tracy to just kind of focus on. Because even if you kick Kram, yeah, he's just going to sidestep on out of that. And it's hard enough to get the Frigid Glacier down, but what more against the Hilda, who's so mobile already. So when they go and commit all that into trying to get a pickoff, look what's happening across the map. The macro level is already favoring SRG. They're able to push in some of the extra gold on the turrets. They get even one down on the top side. And this is where that momentum continues to build. Innocent getting the Starlium Scythe already is just showing you now. Uh-oh.
Another stun plus Sacred Hammer. Gonna burst down Saksha. Goodbye is the right response for SRG.
How do you even escape when these lockdowns are like this, you know? Turtles up again. This is just gonna, oh, Tracy, whoa, what a play. Stormy's reaction there. I don't know, man. This is really difficult for Tracy, as I was saying the whole time. Kram, he's just showing how tanky he is. That's it.
Limit testing. Limit testing with returns Primal Wrath, doesn't care, and now just goes in back in the bush, heals up, has an additional shield. It's like they're unbothered with 3k gold lead, and now they're going to move past that and just go for Tracy. And again, Bilexi is also here. He still has his Purify, so they're quite safe. But as Selangor Giants, I'm pretty sure they want to go for a turret takedown before getting down this Lord. They
might just have enough lead here to actually put pressure where they can just say, you know what, this is the lane we want to go. We're going to put all our eggs in this basket. We're going to get a turret. Boom, we move around. You know, they can actually do that at this point just because of the power spike difference with the lineup that SRG has. Again, copy and pasted from game 1, and we especially saw it shine towards that first Lord, and it was really difficult for KBG to actually catch their breath after that. They're well on the way of doing the same exact thing in this game too. As, you know, Bilexi, the best thing that he can do is go ahead and try to push in some of the tier 1 turrets. They're going to do exactly that.
Oh,
they won't be able to get it though.
Oh,
no.
Oh, here comes the conceal. XP laner Roamer going for the flank. Bilexi trap. Caught in the midst of everything. Will be taken down. Raid return has to flicker out with the Primal Wrath as well. And that's a huge, huge blow for SRG. Taking down Bilexi. Innocent goes in with the entropy. And now Sakai's with a stun. And the kill onto Wind Return.
The moves, the grooves from SRG right now, working as one unit. Not giving a chance to KBG at all around the map. They get the tier 2 as well. And now they get primed and ready. 20 seconds away from the Lord at this point. Massive lead at this point of the game. Look exactly what happened in the previous one where they just turned a switch after that early game. And now for KBG, it's looking grim. It's looking a little bit dire at this point on who do they even target. Tracy again. Who does he kick? It's Yums and Krams every single time, of course, in the front side, and you don't really want to kick one of them. You kick Yums, boom, implosion into the team. You kick Kram, he's just going to run away. You know, at that point, you don't really have a target here for Tracy, as that Lord is already easily secured for SRG. So now the question is, how does KBG defend against this deficit? And with this lineup, to go against this march in from SRG.
Yeah, going in 5v5 clashes with the numbers advantage, so that means getting a pick off before Selangor Red Giants commits their major ultimates like the Implosion, as well as, in the sense, Entropy. KBG really needs to bank up on that and again try to mitigate the pushes that Selangor Red Giants has by utilizing the macro advantage that they have with this Moscow. But again, if you're Moscow and you're trying to split push, a lot can actually chase you. There's Kram, there's even Sakai's. Oh.
Okay. Turret already down. Kram just went up there because he wants to stop Soxer from taking the Lord down. Like, he wants to delay it a little bit. That's it.
And that's the thing. That's the thing we were saying. Make sure to not let SRG utilize the pushes that they have. Again, Yums with the miscast, I believe, with the implosion there, so there's no implosion here. Tracy gets a kick, but quite off angle now. It's getting taken down by 4. One member down for KBG, and now they're working on the mid lane turret.
Mid lane turret, tier 2, already down. Holy Shield still up, but gonna be popped here as SRG. Decisive lead right now for them. Eternal Guard dropped down just to cut them and zone them off. KBG can't do anything but watch their base turrets be worked on already. Soxa will go clear the wave, cut it out in the mid lane to just try to stop the bleeding a little bit. But the damage has already been done massively as SRG gets that base turret on the top side.
And at this point, this is what KBG can actually do. Just try again and go for the split pushes, go for the cuts, not let SRG utilize the push, the siege that they can do as Bilexi picks up the Trinity build right now. So as long as they try and extend this game as much as possible, KBG will still have a chance.
You know, at this point, Ingon, I'm going to say KBG needs to extend this game into almost the next game because that's how much time you need with this kind of deficit, with this kind of lineup when we're talking about that, because, my guy, you need like 10 plus minutes for them to actually match this power spike. I mean, looking at the damage dealt alone is enough to say, hey, we got to get it together. Like, we really need to lock in. And at that point, with this kind of lineup, that is not going to be the easiest to do. Even if you're forced into your base with the next Lord and they just, let's just say they die down, they wait. Sox just clearing waves, doing his thing. You need a lot more to go your way than what Selangor Red Giants can throw at you, because they have so many tools to just go ahead and make things happen for them or force fights in their favor that even when the Lord comes up, then, you know, they've got literally 7-man team running into the base, or if you're counting the Eternal Guard at that point.
What's the 7th man? Oh, plus the Lord.
The Lord and the Eternal Guard, the baby Lord, yep.
The Lord plus the Eternal Guard. So clearly the numbers game is in the favor of SRG.
You call it 8-man because of the gold lead. Like, that's kind of like an extra body too, you know?
It's a tough mountain to climb for KBG. They will, however, just let go of this Lord. Gonna hope for the best. Gonna try and look for a pick-off before the Lord respawns, before they siege in. But again, with the discipline that SRG has been displaying, even if Tracy manages to look for a good wave of the Dragon, is the damage going to be enough to burst down Kram? Is the damage going to be enough to burst down Yums? That's going to be the main question. At the same time, Innocent, I rarely have seen Innocent use the Purify for this game specifically because they cannot reach Innocent onto the backline. And the worst part is LMU, they have the Aurora, but the Frigid Glacier never seems to connect on the proper target that KBG wanted.
And that's the thing, because every single time the target is either Humes or it's Cram. Tracy can't really get anybody else. And so either of those is not going to be the target that you actually want to go and lock down, you know, with this Frigid Glacier. We'll see if they can make it happen this time. Again, quite a lead right now. Frigid Glacier, are we going to be expended?
Oh, wind return!
Whoa, wind return!
Use the force to flicker, Pyramon Wrath just to try and delay. Here comes the internal guard. Lord up top. A conceal coming in from Selangor Red Giants. No ultimates committed yet. Here comes the shutdown onto wind return. KBG doing their best to defend the onslaught of SRG. The Lord still standing strong as Tracy goes down. And the curse looks to be broken. And another mile extends the golden road of Selangor Red Giants.
And the reigning champions of China will bow out. Their crown slipping amidst the rumbling waves of M6 as the Selangor Red Giants are the last Titan they couldn't overcome. A decisive